about our second speaker. This guy right here was my senior man from UCC. So those who don't know, I graduated Bachelor of Science Chemistry from University of Cape Coast in Ghana. So this is my senior man, Isaac. So Isaac Antwi, PhD, is an R&D scientist right now at Northern RNA Incorporation. He obtained his BSc in chemistry first class from the University of Cape Coast in Ghana, and he proceeded to obtain his PhD from the University of Alberta in Canada. He moved on to Yale University in the US as a postdoctoral research associate with his research interest in natural product diversification, right? He currently works at Northern RNA Incorporated, and he acts as an R&D scientist, research and development scientist. He's extremely passionate about giving back to his community through his numerous volunteering activities, and he has on LinkedIn, I'll say like a blog post on LinkedIn called Everything Grad School that you guys could check out. I'll be giving the floor to our next speaker, who is in the person of Isaac Antwi. Isaac, when you are ready, I am ready.
All right, great. Guess you can see me. Awesome. I'll try and limit it to a few minutes and engage more of the Q&A so that we could have more time to as well. But thanks for having me here, Samira. It's a great initiative, and I really appreciate the excellent work you're doing in supporting not even only people looking into grad school, but also your commitment to people who are looking for undergraduate programs in Canada and US and other parts of the world. I think it's a service to humanity, and I really admire that. And I congratulate you for the excellent.
Senior man, thank you.
And to the many people who are here, like Samira said, from UCC, the best university in Ghana, in Africa. No debate about that. But just so you know, I did my Bachelor of Science degree at the Department of Chemistry between 2011 to 2015. And then after graduating, served as a teaching assistant. And it was during that process where I started my graduate school application journey, and then applied to a couple of schools in the US and Canada. And I finally chose University of Alberta for my PhD degree program. And then within the period of 2016 to 2021, that's when I finished. And prior to my completion, I was interested in going into academia. And as many of you are aware, postdoc has mostly become like a stepping stone for people who end up into faculty position. And I said to myself, I would love to be in a prestigious institution, just to also motivate my colleague Africans to know that Yale, Harvard, MIT, and also we can also find ourselves there. And I was lucky to find myself with Prof. Scott J. Miller, one of the prestigious organic chemists in the field of chemistry at Yale University. And I served as a postdoc between the years of 2021 September to 2022 September, where I had a industrial position back to Canada. And many of you may ask, why did I come back to the industry? That's a story for another time. But I'm currently working as a research scientist with Northern RNA. It's a biotech company basically focused on mRNA vaccines and other vaccine products. Just so you know, I like to play soccer for fun. That's some of the things I do for fun. So I'm not that all book. People think I don't have fun. I do have fun. It's very important for us and very important for everybody. And I also believe in diversity, equity, and then inclusion as well. I believe that there should be equal opportunity for everyone. And one of the challenge growing up as the first son of my family to even make it to university was the challenge of getting even a mentor to guide you along the way, especially those of us in the STEM. I remember someone back there in Ghana told me, oh, what will you do with chemistry apart from teaching? And the person was right at that point. But I think I took it upon myself to make something different. And that is one of the motivations for some of the things I do. And I believe that now we have a lot of these mentorship platforms like what MIRAMOVES and others are doing to help people and guide people, which I think it's very commendable. And as a paid back forward, I try to volunteer in various activities in kind and in cash and in any form that I can to also help people as well. Just for the next 5-10 minutes, I'll be talking about the question, does first class really make a huge difference? And I have given an answer, yes and no. Yes, in some extent, no, in also some extent, because we've all seen other people with different GPAs getting fully funded admissions. As to whether the emphasis is being placed on the first class or not, I think predominantly once you meet the university's minimum requirements, you are in the pool. And so if every university says the minimum GPA for the program is a 3.0, and you are within that range, you are qualified to be within that range. And so that is why I said yes and no. Because in the admission determination, so many factors go into consideration. The GPA is one of them, but it's not the only solely determinant of your admission into graduate school. For sure, you have to meet the minimum requirement. And even there are instances where people do not meet the minimum requirement, but have that supporting document that really, add up to what caused their low GPA. And it all comes to the fact that your justification. And I also want to tell people that, I've spoken to a couple of graduate admission committee members where they tell you specifically that in most cases, emphasis are even placed on your final years of your graduate studies. For instance, when I was reading chemistry at University of Alberta, first year, second year, I was taking physics, chemistry, mathematics. It was only my third year, fourth year that I specifically, did only chemistry courses. And my first year courses, I was taking com skills. I had like D or C, something like that, spoiled my GPA. I did some African studies and so many unnecessary courses. And there was nothing chemistry in that. But if you look at my third year, my fourth year, when I was specifically doing chemistry courses, it made sense for any admission committee looking into me applying for a chemistry program to make a firm determination and ignore the C's that I had in my com skills and other African studies program and see that this is someone who can really excel in the chemistry or the field that he or she is applying. And so just to let you know that, yes, maybe you might not have that strong GPA, but you have done extremely well in specific program that you apply into. You are looking for a business program or you're looking for any science-related program. The specific program that you are applying to, you have demonstrated excellent academic achievement in that. That plays a significant role. And if I am a professor and I'm reviewing someone applying into a chemistry or physics and the person is doing so well, even within the chemistry, if someone is interested in organic chemistry and I see that the person is doing so well in organic chemistry related courses, however, not doing so well in, let's say, environmental chemistry, so I will still consider that person because that is the passion and then where the person's strengths lie. So many things goes into the admission committee decision making. So please, if you are here in your final year or whatever year you've completed and your GPA to use doesn't, you are not in the first class, you are not even in second class upper, it shouldn't discourage you from applying into graduate school. And I think Samira can testify to many people with lower GPA and still have had admission into graduate school. I should admit also that the graduate school is becoming more competitive day in, day out. I mean, back in 2016, when I was applying, it was quite easy. A lot of people didn't know about some of these things. So it was, but now it has become more like a job for people who finish. And that is why some of these seminars are very important to guide you. Certain mistakes that we did that we had our way through, these days you cannot do that. People could just take phone and take pictures of their transcript and send it over there and would have been considered. By this time, professors and admission committee are very critical about everything that you put out there. And so things are changing, the dynamics are changing, the formats are changing, emphasis are placed on other aspects. And I tell people that very soon, most admission programs is going to be more of an interview. Most schools are doing that. If you go to Stanford, Yale, and other kind of stuff, most programs, they interview you. They give you the offer, you come for interview, and then make their informed decision. So because everybody might be coming with an equally qualified GPA, what then distinguishes two candidates is how they are able to defend whatever transcript that they are presenting. Knowledge acquisition, how do you defend that? So things are evolving. And so make take good use of some of these seminars, some of these videos. You might think, people say, oh, they are making monies out of it. Regardless of whether it's a business or whatever, you are learning something out of it. And people are charging huge sums of money. I personally, let me tell you, when I was finishing my PhD, I was looking into the industry. I paid $1,500. Most of you have heard cheeky scientist. He's this guy who trains PhD people, $1,500 for me to go through his program. And so when people are volunteering and doing some of these things, please don't take it for granted. It's not that easy and it's not that rosy. So please don't think of it as, oh, once he or she get views, he gets money out of it. People are paying, and I'm telling you, I paid $1,500 to go through the Cheeky Scientist program. When I had a job interview, I had to schedule an appointment with him, how to negotiate for salary, all of those things. People are being charged and paying fees for this. And so if you are lucky to have some of these free seminars and webinars, please take good of it. Last thing about funding and scholarship. In the context of Canada, especially in the aspect of the sciences, like the first speaker said, mostly the business programs, scholarship becomes a bit competitive. But in most of the research-based programs in Canada, you are either admitted as a GTA, that's a graduate teaching assistantship, and then the GRE, graduate research. And these are the two extreme funding sources that a lot of us go through. And these are automatic funding. Once you get admission, you don't have to apply separately for some of these funds. It comes automatically. The other aspects, we have some federal and provincial scholarships, which are very competitive, that people also go through. But I would say over 80 to 90% of people in research-based program are either funded through the GTA, where you are admitted by the department, paid by the department as a teaching assistant, and then you get your stipend out of it. Currently, University of Alberta, I think, gives about $35,000 or so, or $40,000 for the GTA. So in the fall and winter, you teach courses, but spring and summer, because there are no more courses, your supervisor pays you from one of his or her grants. And so you move from the GTA to a graduate research fellowship within the period of the fall, the summer, and then spring. And once fall and winter begins, you go back to your GTA, where the department pays you rather. So that is mostly how Canadian, especially in the STEM related, the funding are. Your supervisor will pay you within the summer and spring when you are solely doing teaching. And some profs also can buy you out. They will say that, hey, I want you to focus on research, how much the department is paying you. He takes it and then he pays you off so that you don't do any teaching. That is also available. But still, most profs want you to get a teaching experience because they think it adds up to your experience. And so even if they will buy you out, they will wait for maybe your third year, fourth year, but your first year, second year, they allow you to go through the teaching process and then pays you for the spring and summer. So you have time for questions and answers, but this is what I just wanted to share with you. And I look forward to having a very interactive discussion today. Thank you all.
As in, if you are not here, I'm sorry, because the information that is going on here is intense. Thank you so much, Isaac. I want to reiterate that only questions in the Q&A section would be answered for coordination and for the speakers to have dedicated time to answer your questions. Again, these are scholars. They've been there, done that, and they are professionals in their respective fields. So please do well to adhere and put in your questions in the Q&A side, and I would read the questions one by one, would tackle every single person's question. Now, we are going to hand the floor over to Fulera. Fulera is fresh. You know, we are bringing in seasoned people and we are bringing in fresh people. Fulera literally just got to University of Manitoba last year.